Hey everybody, I'm Casey Marx, and this is the Inheritance series. This is episode 1, It Can't All Be for Nothing. Here's the lie. They told us the financial services industry was built to protect families. It's not, it's built to profit off of them. I'm Casey Marx, founder of Crown Haven, Bull Baron, and Pinecone, and I'm here to help you beat the financial system. I have built 3 successful firms myself. I've mentored thousands of advisors. I'm on the speaking circuit nationwide. I've spent 60,000 hours sitting with real families, solving real problems. I've hosted television shows. I've hosted radio shows. I've been featured all across any media you can think of. I've sat across from billionaires who all know that this system is not fair. But I didn't start here. I started as a 15-year-old kid, holding my father's cold hand, watching the man who had built my world disappear, and then watching the system destroy everything that he left behind for me and my mother. That's why I built my firms. That's why I'm writing Inheritance, blowing the lid off of big finance, due out June of 2026. So subscribe, share, and stay tuned for the truth that nobody in the financial industry wants you to hear. Now let's talk about how the system failed my family. This is the lie. They say the system is designed to protect families. It's not. It's designed to bleed them dry, slowly, politely, with plausible deniability. My father, Douglas Dean Marx, was born in Sparta, Wisconsin, and he came from absolutely nothing. His father drove a school bus. He shined shoes at Fort McCoy to help put food on the table for his siblings. His guidance counselor in high school told him he'd never amount to anything, so he did what guys like him do. He got his MBA, paid for it himself, and he built a life on all of that based on integrity. He taught me that character mattered more than comfort, that happiness came from fulfillment and doing the right thing, not just doing well in the material sense. And he knew from experience he had turned down wealth and power numerous times in his early career rather than selling out his values. He wasn't for sale. He would not be owned. And then one quiet afternoon when I was 15 years old, I woke up to a silence that was deafening and a scream that ended my world as I knew it. No warning, no goodbye, just gone. The man that had built the world that I knew up until that point had died on the kitchen floor, and he was 54 years old. Now my mother, he left $400,000 to, and that wasn't just money. It was love. It was a lifetime of sacrifice, work, and faith that if you did the right things, the world would take care of you. It was his final gift, his protection plan for the spouse that he was married to for 23 years and his young son, and the system took it all. It started with a condominium purchase and a broker. This condo was sold to my mother by her best friend. Why? My mom wanted me, her only son, to have a safe place to live while I studied grief counseling in college. She'd always been told that it was better to own than rent. She didn't know the storm that was coming. She took $150,000 and put it down on a $270,000 condo. She was being responsible. The rest of the money went off to Merrill Lynch, to a family friend, to a broker that my dad trusted. Now what the broker did was he checked the box for moderately aggressive on her risk form. He never explained what that meant to my mother, and she did not know what she was signing, only that he drove the SL 550 Mercedes, had the view of Puget Sound from his McMansion, and spoke with confidence, and that was enough for her. Her mortgage came from Countrywide, one of the companies that would help implode the American economy. Within a year, the equity in the condo vanished, but the payment didn't. The brokerage account collapsed under the weight of arrogance, and our family friend disappeared. From $400,000 to $100,000 in the blink of an eye. Gone. I'm 19 years old. I'm broke, I'm grieving, I'm watching the legacy of my father's life literally evaporate in front of my eyes in slow motion, and this is the moment that changed everything. If you've ever seen an otherwise intelligent and proud woman try not to cry while signing a check she shouldn't have to write, you know why I could never let that happen again. That was the day I snapped. I stopped studying grief, and I started studying the system that caused it in the first place. Here's the truth I'll never tell you. I read everything. Hundreds of books: valuation, behavioral finance, macroeconomics, the history of the Federal Reserve, how Citigroup lobbied around Glass-Steagall with Greenspan's blessing, how risk was packaged, sold, and resold until it broke the world. I read Graham, Buffett, Schiller, Dalio, Bogle. I studied annuities, pensions, and trusts, the things advisors never explain because it's not in their interest to, or maybe they just don't understand them. And here's what I learned. The system isn't broken. It's built this way. You're not supposed to understand it. You're supposed to nod and sign. Because the less you know, the more they make. This is the playbook. Sell you the dream. Wrap it in jargon. Disappear when it collapses. Blame you. You should have known the risk. You sign the paperwork, you click the box. Meanwhile, they collect the commissions, the deferred sales charges, the AUM fees. You lose your future. They keep their bonus. And the truth is, they sleep fine. Because to them, you're not a client, you're inventory. That's when the rebuild started. I couldn't change the past, but I could rebuild what was stolen. I opened an E-Trade account for my mom. We started with $10,000. I bought what I knew: Apple, Google, Netflix. Every trade researched, every dollar intentional. While the world was unraveling, March 2009, we were rebuilding brick by brick, year by year. Less than a decade later, I had recovered what the system had taken. That became the foundation for my retirement planning firm, Crown Haven, a firm not built on selling products, but on protecting people. Because my mission was born from ambition, it was born from pain. So here's the promise. I promised my dad I'd take care of my mom. But I've spent the last 15 years taking care of every family who's ever trusted the wrong people. Because this isn't just my story, folks. It's yours too. The same companies that preyed on my mother prey on millions more. Different names, same playbook. The system hasn't changed, but we can. Write this down. This is how you protect your family. Know who profits. Understand where the dollars go. Never confuse advisor with fiduciary. Ask how they're paid and by whom. Don't let anybody fill out your risk form for you. If somebody sells you on the basis of confidence instead of actual data-based clarity, walk away. And remember that safe doesn't mean simple, it means structured properly. You don't need to be a financial expert, you just need to understand the game. And stop playing it on their terms. Like, subscribe, share. I know this resonates with somebody. And for all the stuff that I can't share here, pick up the book. It's a good one. There's a lot there. Next, what I'm going to talk about is how I took the grief that I had and turned it into $500 million under management.